straight up cold door knock with no leads. What'd you end up issue? What was the total last year? What'd you make?
366.
Yeah, I mean, dude, life is good. What up, y'all? John Wetmore here, back with another episode of the Insurance Insiders Podcast. Got my buddy Jorge on today. Thanks for getting on, bro.
Thanks to you.
Yeah, always, man. I love. Where'd we meet? Was it Houston? I know it was in Texas.
In Houston, yeah.
Houston.
Yeah, it was like
so this dude, conference. I'll give you a quick little intro, and I'm gonna let you give a little clarity because I honestly don't know a ton of your background, but what I've learned so far, I like. I remember you came up to me in Houston. You were asking me questions about door knocking and how early you can start, and you were starting at, I don't know, I think it was like 11 a.m. or something. And I'm like, that's damn near lunch, bro. What do you do? And I just started to get to know you a little bit, and we were chopping it up, and I didn't know your background, how long you'd worked here. I didn't know anything, and I remember you telling me you had some like fears of investing in leads. So you just straight up cold door knock with no leads. I started asking questions and I'm like, yo, how many, because you had issued like, I don't know, I think the number was like 350 grand or something at the time we were talking. And I'm like, bro, how many doors do you knock a day? And I think you told me about 100. Is that fair?
Yeah. So like it's like 100 plus. Yeah.
And I'm like, all right. So no lead, like, and I was trying to, it was funny. I was like simultaneously trying to work with getting you over this fear of leads. But at the same time, dude, I was hella impressed because so many agents in the business use lack of money as a crutch to not be able to have success. Right. And they're only looking for leads. They prefer ones that book themselves and all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, this cat just works and is knocking down over 300 grand a year. So would love to hear more, dude, some insight into how you got there and, you know, maybe your background, because I know you don't have a big insurance background. So kind of roll into how the hell you got into knocking down 300 G's plus, knocking on doors cold, bro.
Yeah. So, a little bit of my background. I was a truck driver actually for 13 years. My pops was a truck driver. I just kind of like follow the footsteps type deal. I was always local.
Like long haul stuff?
Yeah, 18-wheeler.
18-wheeler,
yeah. So we had I worked for like Ryder for, I think, for 6 years. Ryder had a contract for like CVS Pharmacy. I was a truck driver there. Another company called like Wawa, I did it for them. But yeah, I was truck driving. So I had my CD. I was really, really young, 18 years old. I felt like I was doing good at the time. I was really young, truck driving at that time.
Yeah.
But to a point, I feel like I hit a cap in income. I wanted to do something more than that actually, and all I knew was truck driving.
Yeah.
So like I used to actually buy like audiobooks, listen to podcasts. I actually bought a sales course too for like 2K. And I was like driving and listening to it type deal. But I actually did a few things before this. So my realtor was an investor. And we put the house. My wife like decorated. I was like the GC, general contractor, just trying to pretty much tell people to do. Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. My wife loved it because she was like decorating everything. So it's like, hey, I like decorating the whole house, and she's not even paying for anything, so she thought it was cool.
Yeah. What'd you make on the house?
Not a lot. We made like 15.
How long did it take?
6 months. 6 months. So it could have been. Yeah, it could have been better, but it's still
not bad.
First time. But well, I did that. Then I actually sold on Amazon, FBA, fulfilled by Amazon. Sold 2 products. One product did pretty well, but I only bought 100 units. So it was like a seasonal product. So for Halloween. So literally that thing went out so fast and I couldn't reorder because Halloween's over, right? So then I did another product which did well, selling wise, but it's called PPC campaigns. I pretty much wasted too much money on pay per click when you see like the sponsors on the first page on Amazon.
Yeah.
So I put too much money into that. So like I had pretty much no ROI on that, right? I was still learning, right? I did that, sold t-shirts online. Actually, me doing Amazon, that actually what got me thinking about sales, right? And then sales, while I was still truck driving, I was still trucking all throughout the whole thing. That's when I bought a sales course. Bought a sales course like 2K, some change. And I just got motivated, just like, man, I gotta leave truck driving, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so then, yeah, I just wanted to find a job, like in sales. I don't know what it was. I was just putting like a bunch of, online Indeed, like requests to see like if anyone was hiring.
Yep.
And then literally it was just all this, insurance was like number one, right, on the list right there. And yeah, my wife actually found one of the videos from Sean Mike, and she's like, "Hey, this person contacted you. They had the video. I saw the old school video showing Mike right there."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And no, it was cool. It was cool. Then then I just got into it. Yeah, Jay. I talked to Jay Cronin.
Yeah.
He's one of the guys who talked to me, and then 3 years since then. Yeah.
Dang. So you were it's like, and I don't take this the wrong way, but like one of those shiny object, like you wanted
I
out, but
was
you didn't know what to
no,
do.
I was. That's 100%. I was like that. I didn't know what to
Yeah,
do.
yeah,
I was just trying to find something, and I just got into insurance. And I told myself I can't keep jumping. Like I have to get good at something, right? So then, here I am.
What about insurance attracted you?
Um, I think in the beginning it was not too crazy. It was just like, hey, I finally got a sales job, right?
That's it. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Then it was just like I'm kind of competitive too, so like I'm like wanting to get better, and then it
mhm.
kind of sucked when I started because I was really good at, like, saying truck driving, and I used to like unload my trailer like one of the fastest persons in the company. Like I
Yeah,
was like top three, right?
yeah,
Then to come to a whole new industry and now you're like zero, right? You even know what you're
yeah,
doing,
yeah,
right? It's just a whole like I always had work ethic. That was no problem, but like say truck driving work ethic or like unloading or working hard is
yeah,
different
yeah,
than insurance, right? Because more like a mindset
yeah,
and discipline, right? Truck driver, you just have the job, you know what to do, and you
yeah,
just get better at it,
yeah.
right? This one is like you kind of the plan is there for insurance, but then you still have to battle your own mindset too with it too. So like, but yeah, that's
Were
how kind of
you?
how I started.
Hey, this is just curious. When you were driving trucks, was it like the truck was full of one person stuff, and or do you have like multi stops?
Well, depending on the job. So if like CVS, I used to I'm from New Jersey. I live in Texas now.
Yeah,
So when I deliver New Jersey, I deliver like all of New York, like Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens.
yeah,
I had like 4 or 5 stops. It'd be
yeah,
like one in Brooklyn, then Long Island, then shoot
yeah.
back to the Bronx, and then go back to the GW Bridge, back to the warehouse type of.
So, dude, when I was young, like early 20s, I worked in a warehouse, and I used to load the trucks
Okay.
for what was the equivalent of like a Cisco, like a food. It was a
Yeah,
different
yeah,
company, but same
yeah.
concept. I
Okay.
think Cisco ended up buying them eventually. And we would load it in like one pallet, dude, would sometimes have 15 stops.
Mm.
So if I didn't load the pallet right, I pissed guys like you off. You're digging for one box of Cheerios at the bottom that should be at the
Yeah,
top.
yeah.
It's funny. We used to have to work in tandem because the driver's day could get wrecked if I didn't prep everything the right way.
No, it's true. Even like CVS, well, they have at least like 2 or 3. Like they have more pallets than just like one pallet, and there's like
Yeah,
all bunch of stores, right? But
yeah,
they load it wrong. So let's say they put a pallet
yeah,
bounty in the bottom. They had Arizona, the
yep.
tea on the
The drinks,
top.
yeah,
And I'm like opening the gate, everything is ready about to fall.
yeah. Because
And
you
it's
got
like,
it's all
yeah,
top
because
heavy. Yeah,
and I'm here
yeah,
driving, that thing is loaded,
yeah,
it's moving,
yeah,
and it made no sense. Like I didn't even know like how they even got a job actually. I was like, why
yeah,
they did that? And
yeah.
and in some places incline. So
Mhm.
like when you open that trailer and load it wrong, a lot of things all that is gonna fall out right when you open it.
Hell yeah.
So like nobody really thinks about that.
Mm-mm. No, we used to. I always talk about like I used to be timed on jobs, and loading trucks was one of them, where I had to load so many trucks an hour. And if I didn't do so many trucks an hour, I got in trouble.
Yeah.
And I got really good at, like, it didn't appear like I was working really fast or hard necessarily, but I got really good at understanding, it sounds corny, but how to build a pallet the right way and be efficient. And dude, some guys would be around there and they'd load it the wrong way and they'd go to turn to the next aisle to pick up stuff and their shit would fall over and smash all over the warehouse and guys have to come clean it up. I'm like, nah, I ain't going through that, dude. I don't want to pick up boxes twice. I'm touching it once and that's it. And I became one of the better in the warehouse, but I did it in like chill mode. We had the jacks had like a turtle mode and a rabbit mode, and I would stay in the slow mode and just, knock out my night super efficiently. And I used a lot of that, what I learned there, to help my career in sales, funny enough.
Like, you were one of the best, you said?
Yeah. No, it's funny. I learned how to take warehouse work in the efficiency of loading a pallet. Because if you touch boxes more than once, it's really inefficient in the night. We were timed and had to hit a certain efficiency, and I'm like, so I learned how to kind of slow down a little bit, read the order, see if there was 20 packs of water in aisle 5, and then I had some paper towels. I'm like, I need to go get the water first, make the base, come back, get the towel, load it on top, and then it made my job easier, made your job easier, and then I got left alone. I had like crazy efficiency. And the only reason I relate that to this is when I started working the phones and making appointments and doing dials, I'm like, if I can set everything up the right way, the foundation, and then just be really efficient with my time, I don't have to be as good at sales as some of the other guys to make more money. And I don't know, for me mentally, it's weird that it was a very similar. So I don't know if you got anything out of truck driving or sales, but I certainly did. And again, I wasn't driving the truck, but I was loading them back in the day. I did that for like 4 years. So yeah, I guess get into the insurance side, dude. You got started. What was the start like?
Yeah, so I started
Kill it, or did you suck ass?
I suck so bad. I actually
How bad? Were you buying leads right away?
Yeah. So I bought leads for like a year and a half,
Yep.
just from the beginning. So the first month I actually put in like $2,000, $3,000 in leads, I think.
Yep.
And I actually sold nothing. So yeah,
Was it
so like
because you weren't working, or did you just suck at sales?
no, I wasn't efficient in my time. So like
Break that
let's
down.
say I booked the appointment, right? And
Yeah.
then I had like a 3 hour gap, right? I literally did nothing. Like I literally just sat in my car, at that time, like in home, everything,
Yeah.
and just did nothing. I was just listening to music. Didn't do it. Like I wasn't productive, right?
Yeah.
Like my mindset wasn't like there yet, right?
Yeah.
So, and then I was like the quote guy, right? Somebody was telling me, "Oh, just send me." I did it in home. They say, "Let me think about it. Send me a quote." Um,
Email it to me.
Email it to you. So I
Yeah.
literally went to not asking. I had a laptop, right? And my laptop was dying, so I had to stop at Panera Bread just to charge it. So I'm here trying to send like emails and quotes and trying to make it look all professional. Like I did all that, man, and yeah, that was not the right way. But yeah, I did that. So I started January. So then I think February was a convention I went to. I
Yeah.
went to the convention, came back. I think it was in Kansas City or something like that. And but yeah, that's why I actually made my first sale, so that was cool. So first month, no sales. Second month, yes, I made a sale. Thank God. My wife's looking at
One
me
sale.
crazy. Um, maybe two or three, not a lot, not too much
Yeah.
after one, if anything.
Yeah.
But each month I did got like better, right? So that was a progress, right? So then yeah, I think after that, I did all right. Each month I got better for the year. I didn't did too crazy, but I think I issued paid on like I don't know, like probably 60 or 70 or something like that.
The year.
Yeah.
What
So
was the
then
thought process then? Like, were you unhappy? Were you struggling with money? Was the wife pissed? Like, what was the vibe in your household about insurance? and how it was going? Did you want to quit? Were you happy with, you know what I'm saying? Like, where was your head?
I was determined, man. Um, I was just determined just to get better in the phones, determined just to get better, just everything, right? It was definitely I was Uber and lifting on the side just for myself, not to go back to truck driving. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Like money wise, I was doing that on the side,
Got
but
it.
it was literally like on like nighttime, early mornings always dial type deal. So yeah, that's pretty much what it was. Double job.
So you expected it to take a minute to get good,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
which makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah. So
I think it's a
like,
mistake a lot of people make is they think month one they should be amazing, and if they're not, this doesn't work. This, you know what I mean? It's kind of funny.
you know what too? I've been here for like 3 years, right? And just because someone was killing it in the beginning doesn't mean they're gonna kill it at the end.
You can
Or
tell. I agree with that.
or like you even tell by like the Slack, right? Because I'm in Zeb and Jake Cohen's team, and I'm with like Zach Chirasi Slack, and everyone like posted numbers, right?
Yeah.
And like it's people you always know the same people who hit those big numbers, right? They post, post, post. All right, a year later, it starts slow down, and then that's it. You don't hear anything what happened to the person, right? So the person who was killing it or kept killing for a while doesn't mean they always going to do it forever.
Yeah.
And that's why I always feel like this, and like let's say compared to me, I almost did any no sales,
Yeah.
you know, and it showed consistency is key, regardless how you start. I guess it's really how you end.
Yeah.
A lot of people be killing it from
Would
the
you
beginning.
would you issue your second year? What was year two like?
It was better. It was I issued 200. No, exactly 200K. Actually, it just passed.
Your
Like
second year,
I
you
was,
could. So what changed? Go
for
from
me, I
60 to
guess
200. It's a big jump.
it is a big jump. So from that time, actually, I started doing like phone appointments, and then also I was doing a door knock. So I think at
You did
that
both.
time I moved. Yeah. So then I did. I went to Texas. Right. I just moved to Texas. Whole
Yeah.
new atmosphere. I really had no family besides my wife, my kids, and my mother-in-law. We all moved together. But
Yeah.
besides that, mom did wasn't here. After my dad, he passed away. He died from COVID. So it was a little different, right? So then I guess you could say like my back was more against the wall too. It was just me. I'm the only one working, right? So I'm like the only breadwinner. So I have to make something work out type deal.
Yeah.
And yeah, yeah, I just kept focusing. I door knocked more of my leads. So I remember the first month when I moved out here in Texas, it was like I had leads, I was calling. It's crazy enough, my wife had to go to the hospital, and I was there for like 2 3 days, like the first month we was in June, right? No, I think it was July, the second month, right? And I already booked all these appointments, and I'm like, okay, she's resting, she's okay. I already checked. I said, let me just jump to the car, let me run through these appointments really quick, and then I'll go right back, right? And then yeah, I made a few big
Hustling, dude.
sales. Yeah, yeah. So I came. Actually, I went to one lady house. Went to her house. She said, "Oh, can you come back in an hour?" I'm like, "Okay, no problem." Then I actually door knocked my leads. This is leads now, right? I door knocked my lead.
Mhm.
I had it on Road Warriors, right? All of them
Yeah.
plugged in, and I saw like a lead next to me, knocked on the door, and I sold like two big policies. Actually, I sold a lady who was like 83 at the time or 84. That straight Aetna. Then I did that, and then her son, right? So I actually sold two big policies. The mom was like 200 something dollars a month, and the son was something small, like 60 or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Then I went back to the appointment that when I told me to come in an hour, and she was like, serious. So I sold her too. So I helped her out with a policy. Not crazy, probably it was like a $40 policy, something like that. But yeah, yeah, that's what I kind of did. Kind of like I was really happy that worked out like that too.
Yeah. So how'd you get in? What made you stop doing the leads and the phone calls and go to straight door knocking? How'd that happen?
Yeah, so it was again. I kind of roughly tell you what happened. I didn't tell you the whole
Yeah.
breakdown when I first
Yeah.
met you, but yeah. So it's pretty much I like it was some months. So like my months was like I was getting better, but it was not consistent. So
Yeah.
it'd be some months I issue paid 30K, right? And
Yep.
this is all leads, right? And then some other months it'd be like 10. So it would be like a roller coaster, right? And then
Yep.
at a point I was getting hit by chargebacks. And
Yep.
it was hard for me to kind of like
Oh
buying
yeah. When you
leads.
issue 10 after 30, the chargebacks from the 30 will whack the 10.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So then it was I was in that roller coaster, right? And then maybe
Yeah.
another month I hit 20 or something and back to 10, and it was like that, right? So
Were you
then I had a
inconsistent working too? Like, was it mental? You're like, hey, good month and slow down a little. Was there inconsistency in your activity too?
you know what? It could be. I didn't really thought about that too much. But
Really?
I know I always wake up and like dial type deal,
Mhm.
but anytime that let's say I had like gaps, I was 100% door knocking on my lead. Like even
Yeah.
Houston's like really big and it
Yep.
kind of sucks because sometimes you drive like 30, 40 minutes per person, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Um, I still did it, right? I just hit the music, hit the gas. I gotta hurry up before I gotta pick up my daughter. I gotta pick up my daughter from school and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's how I kind of did it. But yeah, now thinking about it, I probably slowed down more on the door knocking lead side of it, and
Yep.
that's what kind of like you know got me in that position.
Yeah.
But,
So then
but
what made you get back to the what made you get into straight door cold door knocking?
yeah,
How'd that come about?
yes. So then for me, kind of it was inconsistent, like my issue paid, and then
Mhm.
I had a big chargeback problem. Right, I was
Okay.
every time I was trying to hit money, make money. I could hit my chargebacks, right?
Yeah.
So then, yeah, I actually called Jake and I was like, "Hey, I gotta slow down a little bit. Like I still want to do this. It's just I gotta figure something out. You know, I said I gotta, pay my bills and then also I gotta pay these chargebacks.
Yeah.
And nah, so look, I'm gonna Uber on the side. Like that's what I did before. I'm not.
Okay.
My mindset is like I'm not trying to truck drive again. I'm
Yeah.
gonna keep at it. I'm not gonna give up, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, I actually was Ubering, Lyfting. I had a sign actually in my car that said "Need life insurance, just ask." I'm a life insurance broker. It had a
Yep.
real bold letters. I don't know why I heard something that said put it in red. It attracts the eye better, so I put it all in red font. And it
Yep.
was literally like I laminated it, just Velcro it, and just slap it in the back. Like you couldn't miss the sign, right?
Yeah.
So literally, I did that for probably like 3 months. I did it for 3 months.
Okay.
And yeah, actually, I got good at selling insurance in my car. Actually,
No shit. I didn't know that part.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So like, even still now, if you even check my TikTok, if you see people like behind a car, like behind a seat, it's because I Uber and I sold them a policy. But
What?
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I still do it sometimes to this day. But pretty much full time, right? And so I actually paid off my chargeback. It was pretty cool. And
Yep.
then I just got good at pitching people in the car
Yep.
and just kind of bring up a random conversation. And yeah, I kept like driving, doing that to a point. I was like, I wanted to go more aggressive to it
Mhm.
because I feel like I waited for people to come to me sometimes,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then I saw like I don't know I set an appointment with somebody, and it was actually at an apartment complex, and then I sold the policy, and there was a lot of people outside. It was like a Saturday, nice, beautiful day, whatever. And I literally just walking in the parking lots, pitching to people. Right? I'm like, what I got to lose? And while I was just talking to people that was just outside, and in my mind, like, I might as well knock on the door. And that's how that thought process happened. And
And it just started
um,
working.
yeah, yeah. So
What's
it's
the
literally
give it?
from
What's the pitch? Let's help some people. I know it's. I've heard it. It's not
yeah,
complicated, but
no. You know what? I always say it's not what you say in the beginning, is how you handle what they say after what you said, right? So
Okay.
like, I just be like, "Hey, how you doing? My name is Jorge. I'm helping people out with some life insurance. I just literally just helped one of some of your neighbors already. Just asking you got life insurance," and I like smile at them, right? And
Yeah.
then either they smile back, or they say no, or they say I'm not interested, or they'd be like, "Oh, what company you work for?" Or "Do you have a business card?" And when I hear stuff like that, I say, okay, there's some type of like they
Yeah.
was at one point. I feel like they was like thinking about it, right?
Yeah.
Because they could just say just not, right, or not interested. If they ask me for a business card, stuff like that, so I start asking more questions. So if I have a business card, I have like this digital card. It's
Yeah.
called like Hi Hello,
Yeah.
and I got a QR code, right? And I'm like, yeah, I got a digital one. It's a QR code. You got to scan it. You grab your phone real quick. So I use that not to give out business cards, it's for me to keep going with the conversation.
Yep.
So they'd be like, "Oh yeah, let me grab my phone real quick." I'm like, "All right, yeah, no problem. I'll wait." They go get the card, get their camera on so they can scan it, and I just start having a conversation. So I'll be like, "Well, do you know how life insurance works?" Be like, "Yeah, yeah." Everyone say yeah. They don't, but they just say yes for whatever
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah. For sure.
And then I just give them a quick breakdown. What I said is pretty much like, well, I guess you know that it's based off like your health and age, right? So like the younger you are, the cheaper it is. Just healthcare, the more products available for you. You ever heard of companies called like Global Life, Colonial League, and Heritage? They'd be like, yeah. I said, well, a lot of those we see on TV that 2 year waiting period, that guarantee issue, right? Do day one coverage, but you do have to qualify for it. So that's why they do check what's called like your MIB record, and MIB just stands for like your Medical Information Bureau. So any prescriptions, diagnosis, it goes in your MIB, and just through your social, that's how they know you're not like dying tomorrow, not crazy like that.
Yeah.
And then I say the social too, so they'll know like when I'm on the app, I'm asking for the social. So I already kind of like threw it in there type deal.
Yeah.
And then I was like, hey, it takes 10 minutes to qualify. It's not a big deal. Do you take any medication database for anything? And
Yeah.
then like they're like, no. And then I just, kind of like the
So,
client, what
yeah.
is it, suitability worksheet? Kind of
Yeah.
ask a question off that. And that's it, really.
This is not that deep, dude. So you're playing numbers game at the end of the day. You talk to enough people, you'll find some interest. I
Because
assume a big
my
ass
thing is,
majority of people say no.
yeah, my thing is like I'm not trying to convince them if they're not ready there about insurance.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to fish the people who are interested already. So like I'm not even by body language. I'm not going to go back like that whole little thing I said. Like if they look at not interested, if I'm like talking, they're looking like down there somewhere. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
waste my
You're
time.
out.
I just be like, all right, cool. My name is Jorge. Any questions? I'll be here to get started. Bye.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, you know, I'm not, I can't be there for 10 minutes and change their philosophy of life. Right.
Yeah.
If they want, or they was interested, or they was like trying to inquire information, I'm like, all right, that's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
So those are the people I'm trying to find.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So if you still doing like 100, I know you're doing your transition, you're doing a little bit more telesales because we talked and I'm like, dude, you want to build a team. You should get good at some of the other stuff too, so you can teach it, right?
yeah,
But in
100%.
in let's talk last year. What'd you end up issue? What was the total last year? What'd you make?
366.
Yeah,
Three.
I mean, dude, life is good, right? And it's like, can everyone do it? We can't say. Who knows, dude? But can everybody work as hard as you do if they choose to? You know what I mean? And they might
Yeah,
mess up and make
yeah,
some sales. So let's say
100%.
a typical day, you start. What time did you change? What time you started knocking on doors after we met?
Yeah, I went
Yeah. What
not
what
exactly
time would you
that
start?
that fast, but like I
Yeah.
dropped my kid off what 8:30, like 9. I started.
So let's just say you doing you caught 100 doors a day,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
How many conversations would you have roughly a day? Like somewhat positive that didn't tell you to F off, basically.
Um, out of 100, probably like 20. Not like I'm sitting
Yeah.
down like
Yeah,
type
yeah. They're
of.
not telling you to F off. So
Yeah, yeah,
80% basically tell you to F off,
100%. Yeah,
essentially.
yeah, yep,
All
yep.
right. So of
And
the
then
20 that don't tell you to kick rocks, how many do you think you would like show pricing to, roughly?
probably like if any, it'd be like Because I'm showing prices, like the likelihood of me selling it is like a lot high.
Yeah, correct. That's what I want to know.
Yeah, so like typically just like one policy a day, like typically, right?
Yep.
Um, if you average the long period of time, I do be out there a long period of time.
Yeah.
But it'd be other times, let's say I do 3 policies, 4 policies, I get referrals, and then I kind of like hop around. I actually got pretty okay doing referrals too. So like when I get in the house, I just don't try to insure that person. I try to insure everybody in the house also.
Yeah.
So like when I go in the house, I just be like, let's say let's say the mom, and it was like their daughter that's like in their 20s or 30s, something like that. And I just be like, hey, I'm doing the app, I'm looking at her, the mom, and I'd be like, hey, what's your daughter name? Hey, how you doing? I'm Jorge. I'm helping your mom with life insurance. So, hey, how you doing? Okay, cool. Well, I always ask somebody at your house, do you currently got life insurance, man? Like, no. Okay. So let me help your mom real quick. I'm almost done with her application. After that, I can help you out. That's no problem. That's how I said. And yeah, either they're gonna be like, okay, or don't they're gonna be like, no, 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 I'm good. Right.
Yeah.
And I'll let them decide on that. And they say no, I just don't push it, I just let it go. But at least I say what I have to say, and I try it.
Knock on 100 doors, get an app a day, and get some referrals after that. Like, life is good if you can understand the mental game that you're playing is where it's at.
Yeah, because if you stay positive, man, I could have like a bad day, right? And I'm like in my mind, I'm like all over the place. Like my day is long, but if I could like stay positive like the whole day, like I can get no's like crazy, and it just be like, all right, whatever, bye, and go to the next door, right? And then it's not like You never want to carry weight from like the no's or a bad appointment to the next door. You just always want to be positive, like knock on the door. Hey, I'm the insurance guy. How you doing? Crack some jokes. They looking at you. This guy's crazy, but you just right. Just stay positive.
I love it. What time do you finish? You said you have long days. How late are you out there?
So now actually I've been out since like it get dark late now. Probably like 7:30.
So
So like
you knock till it's dark.
yeah,
So
yeah,
obviously coming up, you get a lot more time.
yeah. So through Monday through Friday, I have that gap because like 2:15, 2:30, I have to always stop what I'm doing. I gotta pick up my daughter from school.
Yep.
And then from there, I'd be back probably like 4:30 again, knocking on doors.
It's killer, dude. It's it's a really easy way to make sense. It's hustle, right? And obviously, as you start talking about building a team, your goal is not to do it for the rest of the time, but you're able to change your life quite a bit just from activity.
Yeah.
I love hearing stories like this. And now every time I talk to agents who are like in a bad situation, I literally bring up your story 5 times a week, 10 times. I mean, I talk about it all the time just because and I give out your TikTok, which I learned you changed recently.
Oh, yeah, the name, yeah.
Yeah. Because I was trying to give out the trucker one the other day. And Amanda was like, nah, it's different now. So what's your TikTok? Because here's what I love is you do it in the rain. I've seen you in the dark. I've seen you in bad day. I mean, I watch your stuff. I have fun watching it. Every once in a while, I'll click on it. I'll watch you live for a little while. But this dude literally will live door knock on TikTok. I know you put it on Instagram some now too. But where can people follow you? What's the best way?
Well, on TikTok, definitely. I do a lot there. It's FFL Doorbanger. That's my new name.
FFL Doorbanger. I love it.
Yeah, thanks. And yeah, that's the best way. You can get me on Instagram too. JMS, my last name Galarza, Galarza LLC.
Yeah.
On Instagram. But yeah, that's like the best way to kind of get me.
I love it, dude. I love it. Well, give you some final words to whoever watches, some agents, whatever you think would be positive or things you wish you heard at the beginning, that you know now that you haven't already covered if there's anything.
Stay positive. Just because you can submit an app and make like $1,000, right? Let's say, for example, doesn't mean that it's that easy to. right? If you first start, you definitely got to put in the work to get it more easier, right? Um, just because somebody's killing it now, like comparing pretty much, right? Just because somebody's killing it now doesn't mean they're always like going to keep killing it. And like if you're going like slow, just if you there's no way like you keep doing it and you're not going to get better.
Yeah.
So that's like impossible. But yeah, just keep your head up, keep positive. Positivity is definitely like, at least for myself, it helps me go through a lot of challenges.
Yeah.
Yeah, being positive. Like I think too, like you can get better in work tracks, you can get better in sales, but if you have positive being positive and confidence right there and in the work ethic, like those three things will take you a long way. Like you don't even need the best pitch, the best word track, the best if you literally be confident in you, like and then just be positive, there's no way you're not gonna make something like a sale.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I agree, dude. We definitely have that in common because I hear yours and I'm like, I can relate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wasn't the best sales guy. I didn't have I got better at it for sure. I mean, I learned how to close some deals. But man, the beginning, same. This is reps, dude. Which is why I love what you're doing because I'm like, that's my style. Just go out and outwork your situation. Keep killing it, bro. Appreciate you getting on, and hopefully we'll keep watching you climb and share more stuff with people in the future and touch base again. Appreciate you, homie.
All right, cool. Thank you.